Welcome everyone. Welcome. So, this marks the beginning of a new phase for me. I've been making content and videos and reading posts for a while now. Not too long, about 2 years and a half, 3 years. And if you just look at the quality of the content and the focus of the content throughout the pass of time, you just see massive shifts in the subjects that I chose to discuss. Right now, for the last 6 months or so, I really stopped making videos, mostly just curated content, pictures, things like that, but not a lot of videos of me sharing um, my experiences and the knowledge that I've acquired recently. And I just felt like it was more of a learning stage, and that I had to, because there's just so much, the input of information and the information that was just flowing through was just so much that it was confusing at first. If I were to try to talk to it, I would sound like a madman, because I just hadn't connected the dots the way they should be connected when the information is being presented to somebody who maybe is just hearing about these concepts. So here it is, man. The idea of this new phase is to bring to you information that is not readily available, that you're certainly not gonna get from the traditional educational institutes, from the mainstream media. You're not gonna get it from those places. It's partly esoteric knowledge. It's knowledge that has been hidden purposely to keep us from really reaching our true potential and our true self. I don't know if you have noticed, by society as a whole, the society we live in does not encourage authenticity. It encourages people to consume content, to consume product, consume, but don't really connect to your uniqueness, but follow what we tell you to do. That's what they do in school, and that's what they do in college, and that's what we do at work, right? They all, from the moment you're born, they are molding you and recruiting you and making you of um, the best candidate possible for having you work, um, and completely forget about who you are, because they'll tell you who you are, right? They'll tell you that you need to do this in order to be happy. They tell you that in order to be happy, you need to make this much, and you need to buy this product, and you need to this, and that. So it just seems like they were, from the beginning, they sent us in the wrong direction, and I was going in that direction. I was going all the way, and then for some reason, I I just turned back. And I will share. I haven't really shared this with anyone on the online space. I've shared with a few couple of people. I'm not gonna go way into details with this, but it was actually a couple of days ago that I was talking to this friend who reminded me of what really sparked this spirituality shift, and kind of like to make myself look in the mirror and realize what's been happening. Who are you, right? I don't This person that I see in the mirror, I don't recognize it. It's not the child that I used to be when I was more in a more natural state. And I've been asked this question many times, and I didn't know what to answer. It was like, they say, Pablo, what is a single moment? What single thing caused this thing? And I said, oh, it's kind of like a more of a bundle of things. It was kind of like a progressive thing. But now I remember, it was this friend when I was back in Florida in college. It was this friend who I had, who was a really good friend. And long story short, after a night out, I think that was the last time that I drank too alcohol. After a night out, we're hanging at his house, and we're drinking. We're also smoking weed, and on my way out, I grabbed a couple of butts of weed from him. I stole from him, from my friend. That sounds horrible, but yes, different person back then. I stole weed from him, and the next day when I woke up, he asked me about it, and I was like, I don't know, man. It wasn't me. I don't know where it is. And the fact that I lied about it, because the night before I was drunk, right? I couldn't really make good decisions. But the day after, I was fully aware, and I just lied. I wasn't man enough to say, yeah, I grabbed it. I was drunk. I'm sorry. Then I lied, and it was so easy for me to lie. I didn't even think about it. But then for the next 2 hours or so, I didn't have any peace inside. At the time, I was really into the gym, and that, like, when I went to the gym, my mind was shut off and I was in the zone. That time I went to the gym, I couldn't do anything, couldn't rest, couldn't. It was really, really discomforting to know that I would not be my own friend. Like, I would not have me as a friend if that's what I do to my friends. Right? So you just that just little spark made me look inside on many, many, many different areas of my life and to audit, right? And that's how I turned back the other way. And it's been a hell of a bumpy road, and most of the times, even like when you start kind of like getting a feeling for, okay, so this is what's going on, then sometimes you realize you have no idea what's going on, and that's okay. Even right now, when I feel like I have some sort of comprehension of it all, it still feels like I have no idea what's going on, because you just keep going through new phases, and they're new phases. You've never been in this spot before, so you're not supposed to know what's going on in a new. You have some idea based on what you've lived before, but it's a new stage. You don't know, right? So it's been a bumpy road, and the spiritual path is definitely one for that. At first, it sparks a lot of loneliness and a lot of alone time into someone, and not everyone is comfortable doing that, right? Many go back and shelter into their old social circle and try to just have that home. Me personally, I think one of the things that I need the most is a tribe, and having some sort of community, family. It's important to me. I feel like I didn't have such a tight family or community when I was a kid, and my inner child still just wants that, just wants to belong and wants to get along. So that's a very, very deep rooted desire, but still it was a bigger desire to just get to know myself first. Because if I go back, if I am this person who I didn't even know who I am, honestly, and I just go and find my tribe, there's a saying, it's kind of cliche, it says your vibe attracts your tribe. So if you're a confused person, low vibration, bad habits, that's the vibe you got, and you go look for your tribe, guess what tribe you're going to attract? You're going to attract other people who don't know what's going on, right? So you gotta seclude yourself and start raising your vibration, right? Which is one of the main topics of these new videos that I'm going to be making. Is raising your vibration. How do you raise your vibration? How do you start just going through phases, charging your body up, your different bodies? How do you charge them? And after a while, you start recognizing yourself again. You start, oh, so this, like, man, I forgot how long I haven't felt this way. And then when you're feeling that way, then you open yourself up for your tribe, and something magical starts happening. They start showing up from unexpected places, people who are adding so much value to your life, just beautiful people. beautiful people that you can only describe of as a blessing you from the universe. Masters, teachers, even the people who are really really annoying and who bring out the worst of you, those people are the biggest masters of them all, because those are the ones, if they are still affecting you, it's not their fault, it's you that's letting whatever that is affect you. So it's something that you haven't understood, because nobody can take away your peace and your center. It's yours. If somebody can take it away from you that easily, it's because there's something that you haven't figured out. So like I said I don't want to make this first video too long, but like I said, I feel we have been misguided from the get-go. And it's not even blaming our parents, because they were misguided too, especially in this side of the world, in this hemisphere, in the West. We're taught to think with our head. They say that this is an intellectual, is a very intelligent person. That is 100% a lie. It depends how you define intelligence, I guess. But a true intelligent person is a person who's connected to a much higher intelligence. And I point like that, but it's everywhere. It can be down to the side. It's everywhere. And some people may refer to it as a god. Some other people might refer to the source. Some other people might refer to as the universe, the universal consciousness, your higher self. It has many different names, and they communicate to you, with you, through intuition. It is very hard if you're very and here's where you're gonna run into, if you haven't gotten way into spirituality, this is the first time you're hearing this, your conditioning from where you were young, which is the mind is everything important. You got to be very rational. If you got to see it, you got to touch it, if you can't see it, then it's not true. If you can't provide proof with a scientific method, then it's not true, right? So it's very hard to prove intuition and how it works through scientific methods. But anyone who has followed any spiritual practice, also, by the way, spiritualism is not to be confused with religion. They're different things. But anyone who has looked into spiritual practice knows that intuition and channeling in intuitive flow is the highest form of intelligence, because, well, the mind is very limited. Although we would like to say that the human mind is so powerful and this and that, it's like, yes, it is very powerful. But when you compare it to the limitless of everything, and the fact that you can tune into that and just let the information flow through, what is the mind compared to that? The mind has so many limiting beliefs, and we have so many limiting beliefs, because we come into the world as a blank slate, and we start getting programmed with all of these beliefs from movies we watch, books, if you read, TVs, family, school, everyone, right? And the thing is that when you're a kid, you just believe everything you hear. So you go into school, and this teacher who hates her life starts complaining about how all men are pigs or something like that, and then you just get that, boom, installed. There's a new chip. Something about money, boom. Something about happiness, boom. Something about everything, right? So when you are trying to approach a situation and grow farther from what you have experienced, but you're trying to analyze it from here, you can only go up until the walls of your limiting beliefs. That's your operating space. But if you connect to intuitive flow, then everything is within reach, right? But we're taught to think first with this, and we're not really even taught to think with our heart, less alone with our center and with our willpower. This is our willpower. This is our center. Then we got the belly button here. That's connected to the breathing. That's something I will talk about later. but the center we got here. So this is our really true who we are. What do we want? Not from here, not from what we feel like we want, but what is our instinct, our purpose here? What do we need? What do we need? And then we got the feelings, which is already in the periphery, and then because it's like a circle, so it starts going up. And then we got the mind, which is farther from who we are, right? But if we can align all of those things, then great, right? But we're not taught any of those things. We're only taught this analyzing. Like, just look at the school curriculum. It's all based on here, arts, like any type of thing that stimulates more of a creative type of outflow, more connected to their heart. It's not really, they have it, some schools may have it, but it's not really encouraged as much, and it's kind of like looked down upon. At least that was my experience. I don't know if that was the same for you guys. So we need to learn to start lowering our consciousness into down here. But it's a long process, right? For now, just gotta realize that, oh, yes, that is true. I've been living mostly in my mind. And living in the mind can be useful for a sec or two, but in the long term, it's gonna be very, very energy consuming. It's not really gonna give you peace, because here's the thing: the mind needs time, as we know it, to exist. Time has only two, and I'm gonna go over this at some more point, but I'm gonna explain it briefly. Time has only two subdivisions to it: past and future. The present does not belong to time. That is outside of time, because the present is the everlasting life. It always will be the present, right? It's always the present. It's always here. But time is future and past, and that's where the mind moves. It's in imagination of the future or in the memories of the past, right? And that when you're in the memories of the past, most of the time, for most people, they try to go into regrets and things that they wish that they could do better, or they go into memories that they're kind of like never letting go because they are avoiding the present, so they go into the past to any type of happy memories that they have. But it's just the disconnection from the present moment, which is the actual life. Like, what is happening right now here is actual life. Here, it's not life. It's a memory fabricated here on what was, right? And then you also might be in the future, and when you're in the future, that tends to create anxiety, because most people are fear-based and they are thinking, oh, what if this, and what if this, and what if I don't have enough of this, and what... they're creating all of these different scenarios. And because it's infinite, it's just, you go here, and then if I say yes, and then she says this, then I'll say this. It's like infinite paths. If I say this and he says, so it's just very hard to stay at peace. So the mind is a tool, and we need to learn how to control it and how to use it in harmony with our heart and with our will. Okay, we need to really learn how to connect all of those things, because that's how we activate ourselves, and that's how we bring the potential of our human experience to its climax. Okay, so that is all I gotta say today about that. I want to hear from you guys, whoever is watching. I appreciate you. Now, I don't even know if I'm gonna upload this on YouTube or Library or Facebook or all of them, or Instagram, TV, IGTV. So in whatever platform you're in, just, if you follow me already, thank you so much. If you don't, hit that subscribe button or follow button, whatever. But most importantly, let me know, what do you think of this? Do you think it's true that we've been kind of like misguided? Do you feel like you personally are very mind-centered or heart-centered? And also, as you reply or comment, think, where is this comment coming from? Is it coming from my ego, because I want to look good and I want to admit that I may be up here? So I just want to know where you guys are at, because the whole idea for this is for people who are getting started and who are getting interested into spirituality and really taking control of themselves, not outwardly but inwardly, and claiming back their power. There's just so many things. but I want to make this information as nice and as simple, absorbable for everyone as possible who are on that stage. There will be some episodes that will be more at the adept level. They're kind of more of a more complex, and I will give the disclaimer. And if you want to watch it, no problem. But most of them are gonna be in the. Think of this as spirituality 101. Okay, I want to make it very, very accessible. Okay. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Stay blessed.